Hello and welcome everybody to the fifth episode of the Founders Forum. Um, today's topic is the Israel and Palestine war. Um, so or Israel Hamas war or whatever you want to call it. So I guess this dates back all the way almost 2 years ago now, October 7th, 2023, when Hamas launched a large deadly attack into southern Israel and hundreds of Israeli civilians died. Soldiers were killed, hostages were taken, and so now we know that, well, not just now, but, uh, it was revealed that Hamas started the war. And, we'll get into the conspiracy side, whether Israel wanted to have this to happen or not, but we'll stick to the facts for now. Israel's response was to launch airstrikes on the Gaza Strip, which then carried out ground operations, and it aimed to eliminate Hamas's military capabilities and to rescue the hostages, which now, skip to 2025, you have the hostages who are being used as meat shields now, because Israel has taken a major part on the offense side and less on the defense, because now the Palestinians are using the hostages as meat shields. When when Israel launches an air attack, right, from a drone or whatever, and into one of their buildings, now they're bringing the hostages up there. So basically, Israel can't do it now because they'd be killing their own kind. So these hostages have been trapped from the very beginning for 2 years now under their patrol. So yeah, many buildings, hospitals, schools have been destroyed or damaged. Cities have been absolutely leveled, or small towns or whatever. Many civilians have been left without food, water, supplies, shelter. They've just been wiped out. Then obviously then they just fought back and forth, right? It was mostly Hamas going after Israel, but then it slowly switched over to Israel left less on the defensive side, more on the offensive side, like I said. But let's skip to 2025, either, I guess, January to March, when Trump first got, reelected back into office, right? Trump's main goal or whatever was to set up a peace agreement, which was what they came to, but then those always come to an end real quick. So yeah, they set up for a ceasefire deal, and which included phases of hostages exchange and pauses in ground operations, which obviously got us nowhere. There's an operation called Iron Wall, targeting militant infrastructure, refugee camps, and undertaking raids. This was basically going into Palestine-controlled areas and taking the hostages to their homes or whatever. People, you see all the ads online about pretty much everybody, not really, but a decent amount of people have been taking Palestine's side, because you see all the ads about Israel doing this and Israel doing that, but you can't really complain when you started the war, because that's what happens. The war is war, right? People suffer, people die, people lose things, but that's war. That's what you have to expect when you start something like that. But yeah, tens of thousands of Palestinians have been killed, many more injured, and really it's just an ongoing battle that'll just really never end. Now, America obviously taking Israel's side because we're their ally. We sent aid to them and equipment and stuff like that, but again, where has it gotten us? Nowhere. But yeah, people, obviously there's conspiracies and misinformation about it. Um, you have that the Palestinian health authorities are exaggerating or inflating numbers of civilian death. For instance, misclassifying combatants or people who died before the war. So basically, people who died in previous battles, they're counting it as in that war, right? It's happening. Um, then there's that the media or social media are using video or images from previous conflicts, which I could definitely see that being true. How do you even know it's from that exact moment, right? But or that the Israeli government has a deliberate long-term plan to expel Palestinians, and sometimes they're framed as a secret or hidden master plan. Because, like I said in my previous episode, that maybe that there's this deep, deal going on that's between Israel and many other major countries, right? That Israel has its pockets, that has its hands in its all these major powers like China, Russia, United States. So, it's really just it falls into that stereotype that the Jews rule the world and sort of that kind of stuff. But yeah, it just the other day I saw just the other day that Israel bombed a building, right? Or it's just this and that. The other thing, Netanyahu signs a West Bank settlement expansion plan, right? Rules out the Palestinian state. Or Israel launches ground defensive deep inside Gaza City, right? You have these cities here that are, were beautiful or whatever, thriving cities that are absolutely wiped out. Now, when I take a look, when I take a step back and look at this war, I'm really not sure whose side to take. I don't know. Same thing with the Russian-Ukraine war. Whose side do I take? Because both sides are equally doing bad things here. But in this specific war, I don't know whose side to take. Do I take Israel's side, who may have started this war on purpose for their own benefit, right? To kill tens of thousands of Palestinians on purpose? Or maybe there's a deeper reason why. Or do I take Palestine's side? Even though they're the ones who started the war, and it's just you take a look at both sides and you don't know which one to pick. Do you take Israel's side because they're our ally? Because you feel you're forced, you have to. Which side are you taking? I mean, I don't know personally, but yeah, that's very much it for this episode. Thank you all for joining. There might or might not be another one episode uploaded tonight, but maybe there will be. So, thank you all for tuning in on this episode, and I'll see you in the next one.